आज ही के दिन हुजूर दरियाए दूल्हा का भी उर्स है। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, 2 ग्रेट औलिया का आज उर्स है। अब इंशाअल्लाह हम शिरकत फरमा रहे हैं। पूरी उम्मीद है कि अल्लाह तबारक व तआला इन बुजुर्गान दीन के सब की तौफीक इंशाअल्लाह हमारा भी बेड़ा पार करेगा। अब आइए मैं 10 मिनट के लिए या 8-9 मिनट के लिए मैं हमारे मौलाना अली जो अभी इब्तदाई कोर्स कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारा ये फ्यूचर है, हमें इनको आगे बढ़ाना है। कल हम रहें या ना रहें तो कम से कम ये इस जगह को संभालें। तो मैं हमारे मौलाना मोहतरम जनाब अली साहब से सल्लल्लाहु से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो आए, कुछ मुख्तसर सा नूरानी बयान से
नहमदुहु व नसल्लिमु अला रसूलिल करीम, अम्मा बाद, फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अला इन्न औलियाहि ला खौफुन अलैहिम व ला हुम यहज़नून। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम। Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we begin, let's start with the Durood Sharif. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. Today we've gathered for the purpose of the Ghous Sharif and Ghous Sharif of Hazrat Ghous R.A. He was the greatest of awliya and he's the king of all awliya. He's been given this title by everyone, and he himself has said that he is the king of awliya. And regarding the ayah which I have read, La khawfun alayhim wa lahum yahzanun, means that Allah's friends, they have no fear and there is no grief upon them. And this is shown throughout Hazrat Ghous R.A.'s life, where probably one of the most famous stories of his life, where he was around the age of 17 and 18, and his mother and he absorbed all the knowledge in his home city, which was Jilan. He gathered all the knowledge from there. He studied with all these scholars and great teachers of his city. And then he decided that he wanted more knowledge. He wanted to travel further, and he knew that in Baghdad, which was the capital of Iran, he traveled there, and he wanted to travel there so that he could study with all the great teachers and great awliya as well of that time. So he told his mother, and his mother said that it is fine. And she only had a few coins with her. She had 40 dinar or ashrafis of that time. And so she decided to sew it underneath the armpit of the coat of Hazrat Ghous R.A. She told him to never lie, never say a word of lie. As the Prophet ﷺ has said that truth is salvation and never to lie, as lie will lead you towards the hellfire. So Hazrat Ghous R.A., his mother was so caring, she gave him this piece of advice before he left. So when Hazrat Ghous R.A., when he left his house and he knew that this might be the last time he saw his mother. And he left, and during those times, they didn't have cars or buses, so they traveled with caravans, which were composed of camels or horses. And he had quite a bit of luggage with him, and he traveled with the caravan. Once he got to a certain point, this caravan was attacked by robbers. And these robbers, they took a lot of things from everyone, and they came to Hazrat Ghous R.A. They came to Hazrat Ghous R.A. and asked him, what do you have? They've already taken all his luggage away from him. Imagine this, you are at the age of 17 or 18, and you've just left your home. You're traveling to somewhere where you've never been, without your parents or without family or friends. And you're leaving your home city forever, maybe forever, and never seeing your mother again. So he's been attacked by robbers and they've taken all his things. But he still remembers what his mother says, that truth is salvation and never to lie. So he tells the robbers that I also have something. I've got some coins underneath my armpit. So a robber, he was shocked by this. And another robber came and he asked him the same thing, do you have anything else? And the Ghous R.A., he said the same thing, I've got some coins underneath my armpit. So in the robbers, they were so shocked by this, they took them to his leader. And then once the robbers took Hazrat Ghous R.A. to the leader asked, do you have anything? And Hazrat Ghous R.A. said once again, yes, I have some coins underneath my armpit. And the robber said, that we've come to you and we've taken all your stuff, yet you're still telling us that you have something underneath your armpit. And Hazrat Ghous R.A. listened to what he says. He says that I am Ghous Azam, I am the descendant of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am his descendant, and on both sides of my family, I am from Hazrat Imam Hussein and Hazrat Imam Hassan. So how can a character like me lie in front of robbers, in front of anyone? How can I lie? This was his strength, and he had no fear. He only feared Allah and what he would do on the Day of Judgment. So this was the great maqam of Hazrat Ghous Azam radiallahu anhu. And once he reached Baghdad in the end, he had to stay outside of Baghdad in the forest around that area before he entered the city. And during that time he writes that he says that every night I had nothing to eat, no water, no food. So I just lived on the leaves of the trees. And he says that every night when my nafs, my desires, when they wanted to sleep, I told them, you can't sleep today, or you can't sleep tonight. You must, we'll read the Quran the whole night. And Hazrat Ghous Azam says that throughout the whole night he would be reciting the whole Quran. And he'd be standing on one leg, and he'd lean onto a tree, and he'd control his nafs, saying to his nafs that this is the Quran which the Prophet ﷺ has brought to us. So how can we sleep? And once he did reach Baghdad, Hazrat Ghous Azam, he reached such a status that one day one of his disciples came to him, and his disciple told him that he'd be arguing with this priest of the Christian faith. And the priest says that he believed in every miracle of the Prophet ﷺ, except that the Prophet ﷺ didn't revive someone from the dead. And Hazrat Isa alayhi salam revived many people from the dead. So the Ghous Azam, he told his disciple, okay, leave this, I'll go speak with him. And he went to the priest, and he told the priest, come with me. Without arguing with him, he just said, come straight with me. And he took him to the graveyard. And Hazrat Ghous Azam told this person, choose a grave, choose any grave. And the priest, he doesn't choose the closest grave, he goes far into the graveyard. He looks at every single grave, and he finds the oldest grave, the grave which is the most broken and everything. He looks at that grave and he says, this grave. So Hazrat Ghous Azam says, how would you like me to revive him? And then the priest was like, I want you to revive him how he was doing his job. The way that what job he was performing in his lifetime, I want you to revive him that way. So the Ghous Azam said, what did Hazrat Isa alayhi salam say when he revived someone from the dead? So then the priest said that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam says, Qum bi-idhnillah, stand by the power of Allah, and the may it would rise. So Hazrat Ghous Azam said, he looked at the grave and he said, Qum bi-idhni, stand by my strength. And the person stands up from the grave playing the drums. So may Allah give us the tawfiq to act upon what we have said, and to always say truth, and to follow in the footsteps of Hazrat Ghous Azam. As following the footsteps of Hazrat Ghous Azam is following the footsteps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
मौलाना अली साहब माशाअल्लाह दुआ कि अल्लाह तबारक व तआला इनके इल्म में अमल में जमाल में सैयदी सरकार आला हज़रत